The screams inside cell block 9 stopped the moment the humans started laughing. Not yelling. Not begging. Laughing. Every prisoner in the underground facility went silent. Because nobody laughed in Blacksite Vorga. Not after the interrogations began. And definitely not after the warden entered your cell personally. But somehow, the human did. And that terrified everyone. Blacksite Vorga was where the galaxy buried creatures it wanted forgotten. War criminals. Pirates. Political rebels. Anything dangerous disappeared there. Officially, the prison didn't exist. Unofficially, every species feared it. The prison sat deep beneath the frozen oceans of Vorga Prime, hidden under kilometers of black ice and reinforced steel. No sunlight. No communication. No escape. Most prisoners lost their minds within weeks. Then the humans arrived. Only 3 of them. That alone was unusual. Humanity had only recently entered galactic politics, and most species still viewed humans cautiously after the border wars. Humans had a reputation. Too aggressive. Too stubborn. Too unpredictable. But one thing the galaxy agreed on? Humans broke eventually. Everyone did. That assumption lasted exactly 4 days. The first human died during intake processing. Not because guards killed him. Because he attacked 6 armored officers barehanded after they shocked another prisoner beside him. The second human escaped confinement for 17 minutes. 17 minutes was long enough to disable 2 security wings, steal an energy rifle, and nearly reach the prison elevator before security drones vaporized him. Which left the third human. Prisoner designation: Elias Ward. Former human military rescue operative. Age 34. Threat assessment: moderate. That classification would later become legendary for all the wrong reasons. Warden Threx studied the human through reinforced glass. Elias sat alone inside his freezing cell wearing torn black prison fabric. Bleeding. Bruised. Barely conscious. Yet calm. That bothered Threx immediately. Most prisoners begged by now. Humans apparently stared back. Why has he not spoken? Threx asked. A nearby guard shifted nervously. He refuses interrogation, Warden. Threx narrowed his eyes. No species resists neuropressure this long. The guard hesitated. Sir, the human smiled during the session. Silence. Even the guards looked uncomfortable saying it aloud. Because smiling during torture wasn't normal behavior. It suggested either insanity or confidence. Neither possibility was good. Prepare Chamber 12, Threx ordered coldly. We begin personally. The interrogation chamber was designed to destroy people psychologically. No windows. Metal restraints. Bright overhead lights. Most species collapsed emotionally before questioning even started. Elias Ward walked enchained at the wrists. And looked completely unimpressed. Threx circled slowly around him. You understand where you are? Elias glanced around casually. Ugliest hotel I've ever seen. One of the guards slammed a rifle into his shoulder instantly. Elias grunted. Then smirked. That smirk made several guards uneasy. Threx activated the neural scanner. We know humans fear pain. Elias finally looked directly at him. No, he said quietly. You fear pain. The room became still. Threx increased the neural pressure. Enough to make most species scream instantly. Elias clenched his jaw. Sweat rolled down his forehead. But he stayed silent. Threx frowned. Increased levels. The machine intensified. Warnings flashed across nearby monitors. Human nervous systems weren't supposed to tolerate this much stimulation. Blood dripped slowly from Elias's nose. Still, he smiled. Not a happy smile. A tired one. Like someone remembering something unpleasant. Then Elias spoke softly. You know what the funny part is? Nobody answered. The human looked around the room. You people think this place is scary. The guards exchanged glances. Elias leaned forward slightly despite restraints digging into his arms. I survived Earth. Silence. Then one younger guard laughed nervously. Elias looked directly at him. You ever watched your planet burn from orbit? The laughter stopped immediately. You ever dug survivors out of collapsed cities using your bare hands because rescue drones couldn't reach them? The chamber stayed silent. You ever heard children screaming under rubble for 3 straight days? Even Threx stopped moving. Because suddenly, the human didn't sound arrogant. He sounded exhausted. Like pain wasn't theoretical to him. It was familiar. Elias leaned back slowly. You built this prison to scare people who still have something left inside them to break. His eyes hardened. But humans? He smiled again. We've been breaking ourselves for centuries. The room felt colder after that. Threx ended the interrogation immediately. Not because the human resisted. Because for the first time in years, the warden felt uncomfortable. Rumors spread through Blacksite Vorga quickly. The human who laughed during torture. The human who stared down the warden. The human who didn't scream. Prisoners started watching Elias differently. Especially after the riot. It began during nutrient distribution. A massive Korth inmate attacked a smaller prisoner over food rations. Normal prison behavior. Nobody intervened. Until Elias stood up. The human crossed the room slowly. You should let him go, he said calmly. The Korth inmate towered nearly 8 feet tall. You challenge me, human? Elias sighed. No. I'm giving you a chance. That sentence spread across the prison later like mythology. Because everyone there understood something. Only dangerous creatures sound calm before violence. The Korth attacked first. Huge mistake. The fight lasted 4 seconds. Elias slipped the first swing, shattered the inmate's knee, slammed his throat against the metal table, and pinned him unconscious before guards even reacted. The cafeteria fell silent. Not because of the violence. Because of the control. Humans didn't just fight hard. They fought efficiently. That frightened experienced killers more than rage ever could. From that day onward, prisoners started gravitating toward Elias. Not out of friendship. Out of instinct. Predators recognize other predators. But humans were different. Humans protected weaker people. That confused everyone. Especially Threx. Why? The warden asked during another interrogation. Elias looked bored. Why what? You defend prisoners who are not your species. Elias shrugged slightly. They needed help. That is irrational. No, Elias answered quietly. It's human. Threx studied him carefully. Humans are contradictory creatures. Elias actually laughed at that. Yeah. We know. Weeks passed. Then the prison alarms started. At first, everyone assumed another riot. Then emergency lights turned red. Security officers began running through corridors. Panicked. That never happened. Prisoners pressed against cell windows trying to understand. Then automated announcements echoed across the facility. Warning. Unknown fleet detected. Outer defenses destroyed. Several prisoners looked terrified. Elias looked confused. Then slowly, he smiled. A real smile this time. Threx noticed immediately. You knew this would happen. Elias looked toward the ceiling calmly. No, he said. But I know humans. Explosions shook the prison. Metal screamed somewhere deep overhead. The prison lights died instantly. Darkness swallowed the corridors. Then came the sound. Heavy metallic impacts. Bootsteps. Precise. Organized. Getting closer. One terrified guard whispered, "Impossible!" Then the emergency broadcast activated across every speaker in the prison. A human voice. Cold. Calm. Professional. "Attention, Blacksite Vorga. We are conducting a rescue operation for captured Terran citizens." Explosions thundered again. The voice continued. "Any prisoner harmed during retaliation will be considered under temporary human protection." Complete silence filled the prison. Then the final sentence came. And every species inside remembered it forever. "If you are holding humans against their will." The voice paused briefly. "Run!" Moments later, the first blast doors exploded inward. And humanity entered the prison.